Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
KELOLAND News has been going through court documents concerning a man accused of 2 shootouts with law enforcement last week. Samir al-Badani is accused of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. Police say he shot a Sioux Falls police officer who is recovering with non-life-threatening wound. Al-Badani was wounded in a second shootout with Beersford police and highway patrol troopers. He was eventually subdued when a state trooper hit him with his patrol car. Police recovered a 9mm handgun at the scene, which had been stolen in Sioux Falls the week before. Al-Badani returned to court Tuesday and was officially charged with stealing the SUV involved in the chase. Before leaving, he told the judge, quote, "Appreciate you. Have a nice day." New court documents in a 5-year-old case detail the night from the incident from the view of the suspect. In January 2020, Amir Baudouin Jr. was charged with murder, kidnapping, rape, and robbery after the body of 20-year-old Pascalina Body was found in a Lincoln County ditch. Last week, Baudouin pleaded guilty to manslaughter and all other charges were dropped. In a factual basis statement, Baudouin claims Body agreed to give him a ride that night and that she got angry when they started having sex. You can take a closer look at his statement and how it compares to the original case findings under this story on KELOLAND.com. A Sioux Falls restaurant is closed and at least 2 people linked to the business are behind bars this morning. The parking lot outside the Hibachi Grill and Supreme Buffet on 41st Street is empty. A sign on the door says it's closed. According to state business records, the owner of the business is Hui Wang. The Better Business website also lists Min Lin as an owner. Tuesday afternoon, 2 people with those same names were booked into the Minnehaha County Jail. According to the jail's website, they're both being held for the U.S. Marshals Service. This isn't the first time the Sioux Falls restaurant has been in the news. In 2022, the U.S. Department of Labor announced the Hibachi Grill and Supreme Buffet owed workers hundreds of thousands of dollars in overtime and back wages. Now let's get a check on today's weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
Well, good morning, Summer. Good morning, everybody. Warm day today. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s for afternoon highs. An isolated shower may appear here and there, but if it does, it will remain very light and widely scattered. We'll have a high of 70 today in Sioux Falls, 67 Aberdeen, 68 in Huron and Pierre, 66 in Rapid City. Keep in mind the strong northwest winds later this afternoon. We also have high fire danger. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up. Thank you, Scott. Protest signs have been created, but you won't see them at any protest. Sioux Food Creative partnered with the Compass Center for Signs of Change, which is a community protest workshop. But the signs are sporting the different warning signs of unhealthy relationships and partner violence. The signs will be held at the Rise Up Art as Resistance Floral Fashion Show.
It starts with poetry, moves into dance, there's floral fashion, more dance, more fashion, more dance. So it's a big combination of art and an exciting time to come together as a community.
Tickets are limited for the show. We posted information on how to purchase them here on KELOLAND.com.
The Sanford Pentagon is set to host LFA 207, an MMA event on April 18th.
Across the street at the Fieldhouse, Sioux Falls resident Cheyenne Bowers is preparing for fight night and her first appearance on the main card with the assistance of Sanford Sports.
I take care of the stuff I don't have to, whether it's, figuring out the science, the numbers, the macros for Natasha, the sets and reps from Katie, so that I can just come in, work hard, leave, go recover, and get ready for my next training session. So without them, there'd be a lot more nonsense on my mind other than just working hard and performing well. So super grateful for everybody here.
LFA 207 is set for 5:30 p.m. Friday, April 18th, with the first of 11 fights at the Sanford Pentagon. The main card, including Bowers, is scheduled to begin at 8.
We provided a link with ticket information under this story on KELOLAND.com.
A 9-year-old from Northwest Iowa has completed a nearly perfect bracket. Breezy Landigent filled out one to compete in a bracket challenge at her father's company.
When the tournament was all said and done, her picks were better than 99.9% of the more than 24 million brackets on the ESPN Men's Tournament Challenge.
The only thing we told her is, typically we kind of explained the seating system to her, so she kind of understood that concept. But overall, she just picked higher seeds and states she liked.
Breezy correctly picked all of the Final Four teams and predicted Florida to win it all and was only 1 point away from guessing the total points of that championship game.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get another check of your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, weather-wise today, there is that red flag warning. Continue to be cautious of that fire threat that goes really for the afternoon into the early evening hours. Mobridge, Pier, Sioux Falls, Huron, Yankton, all included with that. And that's due to the low humidity and the relatively warm temperatures that we are expecting across the majority of the region today. Temperatures this morning have started off in the 30s in Aberdeen, a very pretty skyline to start the day. And our forecast today on Futurecast revealing those 60s and 70s in the southeast. A couple of locations like Yankton and Mitchell should be awfully close to 70. Watertown and Aberdeen, low to mid 60s pretty likely. And don't forget too, we've had a couple of random sprinkles out there, and even that possibility again tonight and early tomorrow in eastern Ketherland that will roll a few little spots on the radar. And intertwined with that discussion, too, some cloud cover that might thicken up here along and east of the James Valley. So with that in mind, too, it does cut our temperature potential just a few degrees as a result. Instead of 70, Sioux Falls may end up near 60 tomorrow. All right, well, getting into Friday, we're back to very pleasant weather. High pressure dominates. It looks like 60s east, 70s really likely central and west, and that's just the start of a very mild beginning to the weekend. Sioux Falls area will be in the 70s on Saturday. Right now we're forecasting our high at 73, but the wind will be strong from the south. Do keep that in mind too as we make our way into that time period. Wind, speaking of that, there's that northwest wind today. That's cranking up for Aberdeen especially and back to Mobridge. 30 or higher at times. And then tomorrow, there's more wind from the northwest, at least at 30 to 35 in the afternoon. So don't want to forget that either. Now, the next thing to watch will be the wind forecast on Saturday. This time around, it's out of the south, and it's gusting near 40 in much of southeastern Ketherland. And then there's another story on the wind going into Sunday, Monday. Now we switch back to the northwest and crank up winds. Look at those numbers. That's the strongest yet, 50 plus around Mobridge and Buffalo. We are already getting pretty strong signals that that wind will continue on Monday of next week. So April's kind of known for being a windier month. We've had maybe a little break on that, but it looks like that's going to change. 69 today in Mitchell and high near 65 in Brookings. 7-day forecast. Now that change in the weather on Sunday may result in some scattered rain. We still want to keep that going, and let's see how that frontal system interacts with the moisture available there. But we go from 70 on Sunday to 55 Monday, and that drop will be best felt probably in the north and the northeast. I think right now the wind alone will make it feel quite a bit colder there Sunday night into Monday in Aberdeen. So just kind of keep that in mind as we take that temperature turn down. We're looking at Pier now and 70s starting again on Friday into Saturday. That's a high at 77. In Rapid City, also a pretty good chance of being in the 70s on Friday, in fact, even near 80. The weekend starts mild, but then sharing in on that wind and cooler weather, maybe a few showers too, Sunday into Monday. More coverage online at KEVLAND.com.